Yeah.
Yeah.
Today I didn't come with specific questions, so I did sign up for the 1 month community
Okay.
participation. Yeah, so I
Mm.
was like mostly here to figure out like does it start from this coming Monday or the week after?
I think
And
from 7th.
yeah,
Yeah, from
from
7th.
7th. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's the Monday. Yeah, 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, while we are waiting, I think I would just be curious even about like your journey into open learning, but like no pressure. So if anybody else comes, then we can switch more to the question and answer, like the
Mm.
questions that people have. So you
I'd
started quite early, right? 2004, like 2008, you started Aarohi.
Aarohi,
And even
yes.
before that, I think you mentioned, yeah, even like 2004 or 2, you mentioned you already got into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be curious about like your journey, how you got into it, what drew you to it, yeah, and what form it took in your early years.
There isn't much of a story. It is covered quite a. It's more like just kept evolving, just like little. So there's no like dramatic,
Yeah,
no major story to share. But yeah, uh, we
but you were
actually
doing this like full time, right?
well, very initially we started part time, we just working with children,
Yeah,
and we would at that time
yeah,
we didn't, meaning we had our daughter, but she was very small, so we just we have one more
yeah,
person, Krista. Hi, Krista. We Mario joined me, so we just started chit chatting. You can jump in and introduce yourself. We can introduce Krista saying, I'm new. Yeah, that's all right. So we are new to each other. Yes, we will. If you can
yeah,
come on video, that would be nice. So yeah, to tell the long story in a short way, we were working with children, and yeah,
as
being with them.
educators,
Sorry.
as educators.
Yeah, but we were not educators. We are still not educators. So
Yeah,
we had the freedom to not do anything, and
okay,
that made us really realize that children don't really need us, or rather need us
yeah,
in the sense of teachers or designers, or you know
yeah,
come with some plan and all that. In most cases, we would not plan anything, and they would plan, and then we said, "Wow, this is amazing." And so, as the initial years went on, we kind of learned more from them rather than anybody else. We read a lot, but and incidentally, whatever we read mostly was pointing in this direction only. So it was not like what we saw was contrary to what we read.
okay,
However, what we saw outside was contrary to what writers were saying as well as what we saw. As in, what's the conventional system doesn't
hmm,
seem to be listening to any of the educator who has whatever people who have written books
yeah,
or done research and all that. So,
yeah,
anyways, so it took us some time to
understand.
for our daughter to little grow, and then we said, okay, we would do open learning, and then we started off. So Krista is saying she's curious to learn more about what Aro is doing. Okay, that's an interesting question. What Arohi is doing. Um, yeah, would you like to, Krista, come on video, audio? However, I mean, can you break up that question? I mean, that's too simple a question. What Aro is doing? We enjoy doing open learning. If that's the answer. So in short, yes, Aro is a group of families who are doing open learning, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We if you understand what is open learning, uh, yeah, so we can talk more about that. Mm, okay, so your family's homeschool. Yeah, so homeschool, unschool, open learning, they're all different terms, I guess, being used by different people, and possibly they don't have one meaning. Yeah, so there comes the question, do you follow curriculum? Um, so the answer is, in a conventional sense, no. We don't follow a curriculum of what is being prescribed by God knows whom. Or let's say the system, but I don't know who is the system or what is the system. In that sense, no. But each individual designs their own curriculum. So it's not that there is no curriculum or there's no structure or there's no, we don't use these words. We don't use the word curriculum or structure. We use the word design. We design our own learning. So we decide, each learner will decide what the learner will learn today. um, yeah, 6 is a beautiful age. Yeah. Right. So a lot is about to do with not when we would like to start something, but when they would like to start something. So that's the key difference, I think. In the conventional system, the system prescribes by now you should be doing this. In open learning, we let the child decide when he or she wants to do whatever he or she wants to do. Like, for example, reading. Just to give you an example, my son started reading almost after 8 years. And that too, one fine day, he just comes and says, I want to read. We said, oh, really? What happened? And he said, no, when I try to search on Google, I get so much stuff, but I don't know what to do with it. As in, I can't read it. So that was his need to read. And specifically, he was into boats. So he was designing some boats and he needed stuff on that. And he figured out we can search for it, but how do I read it? So that's what his kick to read was. And I've seen so many children. By the way, he's 19 now. And obviously he reads pretty well, and not just reads, does everything, whatever he feels like doing. Um,
Is he still in boats, into boats?
no, no, that was just for a few years, I think. But yeah, that was. Um, Krista is asking, how do you deal with others, society's expectations? When we don't deal with them, we enjoy chit-chatting about them when they raise doubts, and we can share our views and they can share their views. And sometimes the views are opposite to each other, but that's nothing to, for us, it's nothing to be bothered about. In fact, we welcome anybody who has a different view, and especially friends, relatives, and we say it's good that you have a different view. Um, but so be it. We have a different view. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yes, that's always there, no matter what you do. Meaning, I'm not saying just to do with education. Yeah, so that's not a problem. That's actually welcome. And one of the reasons why we like to be in a community or in a group, because Aarohi is a whole set of families, is then you don't feel like that you have only people who are questioning you. You have a lot of people who are thinking like you, right? Like we all, when we meet, we all feel we are on similar, whatever domain or whatever. So that makes us feel much better. Otherwise, yeah, there are enough people to challenge us. But believe me, also, there's a lot of people who says, wow, we wish we could do this. So we said, okay, good. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of people in the group now. Yeah. So this is very informal. We didn't really get into mm, introductions today, but that's okay. We can introduce ourselves as we go along. More people can come on mic, on video. We can chit chat. You have to ask questions or share something. Preeti is also there from Aarohi. So yeah.
I'm curious, like all the people who are, maybe I should start by an introduction. My name is Mario. I have a daughter who is 7.5. And I'm planning to try out the community aspect of Aarohi, the online community aspect in October. I would be curious if like the other people who are connecting today are also families who are primarily here for that or for some other reason.
Hi, Mario. I'm Krishnali. Hi, everyone. I think this is the second or third meetup that I'm attending. I am here because we are visiting Aarohi in the 30th September Creators Week. So, uh, honestly speaking, I've seen all the messages about the October thing, and I am still in two minds whether I'll be able to attend that, like be a part of that month because of a lot of personal commitments, and also maybe the this week that I'm spending there will give me more clarity.
Sure, sure.
So there is no confusion in terms of whether I should or not, but the confusion is in the terms of will we be able to or not.
So to
So
paraphrase you, when you can always do it later, mid of October, early November, mid of November, anytime. So the month's
yeah,
option is available at any point of time. It doesn't have to be only now only. Yeah. It's not a limited time offer. We normally work with the word unlimited thing. So it's an unlimited time.
good to I think I have a lot of questions, but maybe like I said, I'm coming in just 2 days, and I haven't even really got the time to sit and think about what to expect. I keep reading the messages on the introduction that we're supposed to give the 250 words. Or I was looking at the list of, adding what you want to do in the Creators Week. I started typing and then I stopped. I said, okay, maybe I should give this a little more thought. I haven't even really sat and given it. We were discussing today, me and my husband, कि ठीक है, do you know what are your expectations? क्या? So, मैंने कहा, I have no expectations. I'm just going to see, learn, explore, maybe just have some fun with my kids. And I know that that's the whole idea. But yeah, maybe tomorrow because I'm taking a train to Bangalore. So I have the full day tomorrow. So I am very looking forward to this tomorrow's day, even more than the next week, because then I'll have just time to collect my thoughts, I think. So no
Yeah,
questions today. I thought I'll come listen to everyone and say hello. Sapna is there. So Sapna and we are traveling together in the train tomorrow. So
superb, superb. Yeah. In fact, we have on our gate, you will see written, come without expectations and leave without judgments. That's what is there on our gate. So it's good. You're perfectly
perfect.
prepared.
I'm in perfect.
We're coming without expectations. Yeah. There are more people here. There is Neha. I don't know if we have met before. Hi, Neha. Kavipriya has been before. Harshada. Okay, cool. So if anybody wants to initiate any discussion, any thought, Krista has been throwing some questions on the chat. People who come in late, she was asking some basic questions about Aarohi. So if you want to come on mic, that would just make it easier maybe for you. Otherwise, you'll have to type everything. But you can still type, and there's absolutely no problem. Yeah, hi Sapna. Sure, no problem. You can still type your thoughts and questions. Anybody else, anything you would like to ask? Preeti is here, I'm here, so can we can share from our experience or our journeys. Anything, not just about Arohi, but also about open learning, anything.
I have some non-urgent questions, so I'll wait for some time, but if there are no questions, then I'll bring them up.
Well, you can bring them up. One question sparks off another question, so don't worry.
Yeah. So I think I had just two questions out of curiosity. One is just the name Aarohi. So I was looking up what does it mean, but I'm curious, like, why did you all select that name? What does it mean to you?
What
How
did you
does
find
it?
out when you researched? What does it mean?
It was meaning like ascending, going up, things on that direction. So like on a trajectory is how I'm interpreting it. But just hearing the word without looking the meaning, it sounded like something which doesn't have a fixed path, somebody who's making their own path. But that was the how it sounded to me,
Yeah, yeah.
like maybe connecting it to Rahi. So that's out of curiosity. And one more question I had was the methods you'll follow seem very similar to like the democratic education, at least which is termed as democratic education. I think the only thing, or at least from my limited knowledge, the thing I see different is for learning, they are also like completely open. It's like driven by the interest of the children. But then I think they have some structures about how do you resolve conflict. So there is something like a circle of justice, etc. So again, there was some curiosity about like, do you all also, I don't have doubts that there would be conflicts arising. And is it like dealt with in a, I would say, what would be the word? Like on the fly, or do you all use some kind of specific methods to deal with conflict?
Hmm. So for us, whether it's conflict is one aspect of it, but any aspect of our
Yeah,
life,
yeah,
we look at it that that's part of learning.
yeah,
So as much as I want to learn how to read, I also want to learn how to, let's say, deal with a conflict, as well as, let's say, I want to learn how to, let's say, control my temptations, or I
yeah,
want to learn how to get up on time, or whatever. I'm
yeah.
just saying there is no difference between life and
Understand.
learning
Hmm.
or curriculum. So everything is part of learning.
Hmm.
So in itself, there doesn't need to be a separate thing for anything.
Correct.
If everything is part of my learning, then everything I will explore in many, many, many dimensions. So
Correct.
let's say today I had a conflict with you. I can either read how to dissolve the conflict, or talk to you, or take help of Preeti, or call the whole group and say, hey, I need some help. I don't know.
Yeah.
Meaning there can be zillion ways of, just like there can be 100 ways of, let's say, playing a game, or
Yeah.
learning
Correct.
and exploring anything. I'm as open to exploring, let's say, even a conflict. So,
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
so conflict is not less or
I
more
see.
than an electronic circuit or whatever have you. So,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that sense, the answer is no. We don't have anything special for anything. Um,
Understand.
but everything is beautiful, and everything is welcome. So, as much as somebody would say, "Hey, do you learn physics?" He says, "Yeah," and we learn conflicts, and we learn
Yeah.
fighting, and we learn how to uh, how to do 100 other things, or how not to do 100 other things, or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So everything is just part of the
Thanks.
deal.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I know democratic schools play a lot of emphasis on that, but for us, we don't really need to pay any specific emphasis on anything specific, or rather, we give importance to everything. Even the smallest of the thing is important if somebody feels it needs to be important. So that
Understand.
way,
Thanks.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Krista is asking, child is an interest. Where do you find materials to support it? So, Krista, at the first level, the child will find the materials to support his or her interest. We are in no hurry to support the child. Uh, Rather, we want the child to discover the support inside him or her, which is huge, actually. Yeah. In most cases, the children don't really need our support, our in the sense, let's say, one specific person. But if somebody needs the support, they will also find, and that's also one thing to know how to find the support that I need. So if I know that, oh, Krishnali knows something, and then I should know how to knock her door and say, hey, can you show me this, teach me this, share with me this, or whatever it is. And if I, let's say, feeling hesitant to do it, that's okay. That's part of learning. I don't need to do every learning today. I might overcome my hesitation in one day, 1 month, 1 year, one lifetime, maybe. Right. So, yeah, so there's no hurry. And in general, the world, we consider the whole world as our resource room. So, yeah, anything can be found anywhere, and we can, we can see how we can get it, or what can help me get the material that I need to do something. By material, I hope you just don't mean the physical material. It could be anything. It could be a resource person. It could be a teacher. It could be a guidance. It could be the actual physical material. Yes, why not?
To support what Ratnesh is saying, I would just give one example, like so that finding out things by yourself and connecting with people or connecting with whatever you want to connect with to just understand what is your need and how you want to get through it. So for example, our children, when they want some music stuff and they want to get deeper into music, some more deep or something like that, they research, they do their own stuff, that how and what they want to do in music. Like our daughter, like my daughter, if she wants to do music and she wants to do western vocal, the western vocal, finding a coach for it is difficult. So she searches for it, she goes through everything, and then whatever she finds, then she talks to that person personally by herself. It is not my duty to talk to that person. She will talk to them and she will explain, this is what I am looking for. Then the coach will understand, and that's how the communication happens. And then finally, what suits to both the parties, then according to that, they will go ahead or they will drop the thing. So that's how finding the resources happens in open learning. Yes, Ratnesh, was it?
I thought I'll pull
And
a video,
yeah,
right? Just like that example. So here is somebody who is crazy about fishes. So there were no aquariums in the campus. So he figured out, can you see those water bottle cans that water cans? So he figured out he can grow fishes in this. So that's how it goes. He's figured out his own material.
Thought of
Sorry, can you guys hear the audio?
making a plastic fish tank was, I thought it wouldn't, it's waste and that it'll break really quick. But when I made it, I realized that it works.
Okay. What are the different things you did in this?
So, first, me and my mentor bought these two water cans. Then we took the drilling machine and drilled these holes on both of them.
And then you heated up the glass and then made that hole. Just know that part.
So we heated up a glass exact of this, and then we pressed it here and here. Of course, Ratnesh did. My mentor did that work, and then we put this bottle inside.
Okay.
Then with this silicone gun, we put this silicone glue onto this, and now it's able to take water.
So while you were working, what was in your mind when you were joining, when you were...
Like it was good to be working on a new thing, but my mentor, he used to get all sorts of crazy ideas, and I would take all of them up. Like, I wanted to put a PVC pipe instead of a water bottle.
Okay.
But then one of the kids told me putting a water bottle will be better, cooler. You can see the fish. So I was like, okay. And
Okay, so we can kind of go on with this video. It's a long video. Yeah, so all kinds of things. I hope you get the idea. We are all the time enjoying this very journey of trying and figuring out new things. And you said your daughter is crazy about animals. Oh, there is no dearth of stuff on animals. So that's beautiful. Right. Okay. This is a very quiet day. Nobody's asking any question. All the mics are nicely, very अच्छे बच्चों की तरह muted. So everybody, it's supposed to be a very informal meetup where you come up, you ask if you have questions or if you want to have a discussion about any aspect. It isn't really uh, it's not something that I'm here to, me or Preeti are here to present. We can share from our journeys through sharing anecdotes and showing you if we have a ready video to what you are asking. Yeah.
Hi,
Hello.
Ratnesh. Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead. I think Neha said a hello. Yes, Neha, go
Yes,
ahead.
hello. Yes, hi, Ratnesh.
Hi.
I'm Neha. My elder son is 6 years, 4 months, and younger
Mhm.
daughter is 1 year, 7, 8 months. So, since few months we are finding, since couple of months we are finding Naman to settle in the school.
Mm-hmm.
He gives a simple answer that मेरा मन नहीं लगता. Do you understand Hindi?
Sure.
मेरा मन
I
नहीं
don't know if
लगता school.
everybody else does, so yeah, you can carry on. But you can carry on in his words. Yeah.
मेरा मन नहीं लगता तो मैं स्कूल क्यों जाऊं. This is a statement, very simple statement. So
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning we were like हम उसको convince ही कर रहे थे, you should go to school to study, and there were many things we used to convince him, understand, make him understand. But till now also he has the same take. मम्मा आप मेरा school change कर दो, मेरा मन नहीं लगता है school में. So this is the part of his journey. But when we think of homeschooling or unschooling or something like this, because one of my friend is into this, Namrata Dhruve, if you know her, so we take some of the inputs from her. But when we find our family situations, like our family is a nuclear family, I
Mm-hmm.
have a younger daughter also, my husband is working, I'm also part time working. So we stuck up in the thought that if we want to give our child time for studying, I mean, for anything, for exploring anything, we also need time with him.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point of time, I understand, or my husband, and when we discuss, we understand that we would, if what if we would not be able to give that time to Naman or to Madhura, then what will happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
How will they carry this journey, carry on this journey? So later on, is this not that this should not happen, that we are not able to give them time, or some of us have to lose our career to give them time, to give them exploration phase. So we are confused at this point, at these questions, basic questions.
Sure. Sure. Um, so, see, first of all, I think children by and large like to spend time on things that they like doing, uh, and they don't necessarily need us all the time. Yes, they do need a lot of interactions on and off, as in not like they need the whole day with us. So yeah, if you have to go out of your home, obviously you can't leave young children at home. That makes so to that extent, you will have to either figure out that you are at home and working from home, if that's an arrangement that you have in your work, if that's possible, or if there is somebody else like a grandparent or somebody who is at the home. When especially when they're younger, as they grow older, obviously they would pretty much be on their own. But in terms of actual physical time, I don't think children demand too much. Eventually, there are two kind of things. One kind of things which you would also like to do with them. So it's as much exciting to you as, let's say, it's exciting to them, and then both of you have a great time together. And then there will be certain things that you don't like, and let's say he likes or she likes, and then he or she would spend time with that, and there would be certain things that you like doing and she doesn't like, and obviously you will be spending time on that. So I guess that's how it works. There's no real one answer. The dynamics keeps changing every day, week, month, year, especially as they evolve. That's, by the way, the meaning of the word Aarohi, Mario. Evolving as they evolve, right? So I think, yeah, that's how it goes. I don't know what is Preeti's take on this. How has Preeti's journey been? She started her journey when daughter was 7, so I think she can tell how it has been for her.
So for us as a family, to be honest with you, Neha and everybody, we enjoyed being with our daughter. We wanted to spend more time with her. We wanted to do lots of things with her. That's why we did things which we were happy doing in terms of our jobs also, work also, and everything. So we did everything around her. So I know it's not easy for everybody, but for us, it was like me and my husband, we are totally into finance background, and we were with banking, with corporate banks, both of us. But when our daughter was born, I left my job completely. We had that clarity that we are bringing a life into this world with a with a commitment for the life, and then we just flowed with that beautiful life, and we enjoyed every second with her. And with time, my husband also left his job, and we both did storytelling sessions with schools. So here in Mumbai, all these schools from south to north Bombay, we used to get connected with those schools, and we used to do after school activity program with them, because that was going well with our daughter. And with us, she was enjoying, with her we were enjoying, so we did that. So it's just that journey I'm sharing. Why? Because that's the beauty, that we never wanted to miss out on that time when she will grow up and she will not need us at all. So we have beautiful memories of those times with us. And apart from that, yes, how Ratnesh was saying, that she's children evolve, and they grow up and then they don't need us, and that's true, very true. And so when she was 7 years old, we used to sit together, do lots of planning, lots of things together. Now, throughout the day, she's fully by herself. She's 11 now, and she is like fully in her things, in her um, projects and stuff, and she doesn't need me at all. Once in a week, we sit together and we just update each other, what actually she is into, what I'm into, when is she releasing her projects, when am I doing my projects, whatever we are doing, we just discuss that. But apart from that, throughout the day, she doesn't need me. So that's how it moves on. I don't know
But
if
this
I
could be,
answered.
yeah, and this could be different for different set of parent and children. This is Preeti's story. I mean, there've been so many, um, yeah. So that's true. And as somebody, Christy is saying, it's hard to find other children who are not. Yeah, surely. So that's something that you have to figure out. I'm again, there is no answer to it. Yes, children love other children as much as we would like also to have other people around us, which is one reason again why we have Aarohis, because so then we have other people around, other children around, and yeah, so that's something that you have to figure out, make some changes, maybe move your house. I don't know what is required. I can't say for your part of it. Uh, the thing is that these are very smaller things which can be uh, I would say created or managed or connected with. You can always connect with more other families. What I'm trying to say is that the reason why somebody is wanting to not follow a set system and rather let the child enjoy this evolving journey, that somehow for us is far more stronger than these little logistical challenges that will come anybody's life. Even in terms of husband wife, you may have a challenge, oh, you are working there and I am working there and we are all spending. You know what I mean? I mean, in our lives, these logistical things will come. I'm not trying to brush them aside. They are very real. All I'm saying is that you have to see what is higher priority and where you find a group of whatever age of people around you. Uh, the one important thing that I always say to people is that when you do open learning, you don't look for only children as company to children or children that age. So people say, are there other 8 years old in this group? And I say, why is an 8-year-old only looking for 8-year-old? An 8-year-old can very well interact with a 5-year-old, with a 12-year-old, with a 20-year-old, with a 80-year-old. Yeah. And we should just look at people around us. And that is what is more beautiful than thinking of more 8 years old around an 8-year-old. Because our life is not made up of people of the same age. We don't even typically marry somebody same age, right? So why are we so bothered with this age thing? It's very artificially created by the school system for whatever reason. I'm not trying to say good or bad, but I'm saying that's how the school system is. So um, in fact, by the time you actually go to even college system, it starts kind of little changing, and then little later in work and all, you may have a colleague who's much older, much younger, and things, the age factor starts diffusing. So I think that's the whole essence. If you enjoy, how Preeti is saying, if you enjoy being in this journey together, so open learning or open living, it becomes open living rather than just open learning. No, Preeti, it doesn't. There's no boundary between learning, living. It's all one thing. And yes, you might have to look at where you live, how you live, where you earn, how you earn, and so on. I'm not trying to be saying there is only one standard answer to it. Yes.
So, there is no standard, actually, there is no standard answer to anything, and there is no standard age pattern or socializing pattern or anything that we have defined it because we have seen that schooling system and we have seen that, okay, this is how it happens that a seventh grader will go with seventh grader and fourth grader will go with fourth grader. So that is what we have seen. But if we little try to go beyond it and see that do children mingle with everybody and do they find value in mingling with everybody, I think we'll instantly get an answer like how beautifully, like I remember my child, she was I think 2 year old, she used to walk around down in the society and she used to mingle with 80-year-old guys, so those uncle G's used to pass and she used to pass and they used to like this talk in their expressions and all of it. So whatever. So I feel that why do we bind ourselves with the only specific age group? Why do we restrict our growth just by that age group factor? Why not explode it like बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट कर देने का कि सबके साथ मिक्स करने का व्हाई नॉट
Yeah, in fact, Kavipriya is saying that her kids are not into socializing, which I think is absolutely fine. In fact, my daughter was like that till about 17, 18. She was not, even though she had kids around her, she was not into socializing or spending. She would do her own things. You will always see her somewhere quietly sitting, doing her own stuff, even though there are 15 other, 20 other kids around her. And but come around 17, 16, yeah, around 16, 17, then she felt a need of, okay, I want more teenagers around me. And then she found her own way to have more teenagers around her and so on. And then she had more friends and finally she married one of her friends. They fell in love and she's married now. She's 25. She has not gone to any school, any college, no certificate, no 10th, 12th, nothing. She just lived her life till now. She's 26. So what I'm trying to say is that I think as Preeti is saying, we put too much importance to one thing or the other, or rather the society seems to say, "Arey, socialize kar raha hai ki nahi, read kar raha hai ki nahi, this is happening, that is happening." Everybody has a checklist, but where are we understanding the little human being who has his own design, who has his own way of growing, or evolving rather, Mario. That's the meaning of Aarohi. So we want individuals, I would not say children, but individuals to evolve in the way they want to evolve, or rather evolve from inside out, not by some structure, some system, some expectation that, oh, you should be doing this. You are 14, why aren't you like this? You are 6, why aren't you learning reading, and so on. So that's the expectation part which we started off with, that if we don't have those expectations, which Krishnali was saying, then it becomes very beautiful, because then we are just flowing with how we are, and that is what open learning is. I know it sounds somewhat philosophical, but I think finally we all want that, na? Don't we all, as adults at this age, want us to be us? We don't want to be doctored around with, okay, now you have to do it this way, now you have to do. We want just to be us, and still we want to do things, achieve things, and so on. It's the same with children, and somehow that's not been allowed, so to say. And that's what open learning really embraces.
And that's also the kind of answer to what Mario was asking about conflict management. Like it's like flowing is the key. Like just keep flowing with uh, good things, nice happy emotions will come. It flows off. It moves on. Then sad emotions will come. They will also flow off. They will also finish off. Nothing is staying with you for a very long time, right? So that's how you just keep on and on, keep moving.
Yes,
I
yes.
had something I forgot.
Yeah, in fact, Mario, we have a kind of a thought that let's not try to solve things. Let's see how they will dissolve. Dissolve are very different. Many a times these so-called conflicts just get dissolved. If we give them time, we are in too much of a hurry, to no. Oh, how did he say that? Oh, now we need to call a, court or a justice or whatever. But then there's a system of justice inside us automatically. We are all, in that sense, just creatures. However, we do behave unjustly also.
I have
Also,
one more
okay.
question.
Yeah, Neha, go ahead.
In the October month, you are taking a 4 session workshop. Uh, so I wanted to register for that. I just have few queries that what so any question around this unschooling or homeschooling we can ask in those sessions, right? Because me and my husband have number of questions because what we think is हम स्कूल गए हैं तो हमारा लाइफ ऐसा है सेटल्ड है we call it as settled life that we are working with a company. I'm a CA practice. I am practicing a chartered accountant as a chartered accountant, and my brother is IIT and he is also working in Bangalore. तो हमारा financially background ठीक है. अभी स्कूल गए हैं तो काफी चीजें वहां से सीखी है लाइक हाउ टू डील विथ many people, मे बी सोशलाइजिंग सीखा है. Sometimes we have learned leadership qualities. At home we were not having that environment, frankly. तो हमने वो सब स्कूल से ही सीखा है. But how these children will learn if they don't go to school? So we have many questions around this
Sure,
because
sure.
none of the person in our family has done homeschooling. We
Hmm.
don't have any experience. We don't have any person also with whom we can share.
Yeah,
One of
actually,
the one of
that's not correct, Neha. Actually, you have learned a lot of things outside the school, at the work, by doing things. You were only going to school for few hours, but even on weekends. So we are all technically we are all part open learners. We are only schooled for a certain amount of time or colleged for a certain amount of time. So many of us are not even doing jobs related to the degrees that we had. So we are all open.
Ratmesh, I forgot to tell Pranav is CA only.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of things we learn, like you mentioned leadership, you mentioned so many things. We forget leadership. You can learn physics without going to any college. You can learn anything actually without going to anywhere by doing it. When you encounter something, when you are into something, you figure out how to do it because you need to do it. Either because
but
you like.
still, school is a campus where you get all environment where you can learn things like physics. Just you told the school provide that laboratory, those teachers who are good in physics. So from
Yeah,
where
but
why we think that
unfortunately, the physics that we learned, nobody knows. If I ask a question, okay, even a simple question, if I ask, people have no idea what about it. We learned physics, but for what we learned, I don't know. Not even as a knowledge. Forget knowledge. I'm not even testing people's knowledge. I'm just trying to say that way of thinking. Okay, so I'm not trying to say that that's anything wrong in learning physics in school, and we are not trying to counter that in that sense. We're not trying to say that one shouldn't go to school. What I'm only trying to say is that when one can learn whatever one needs to learn at whatever age, wherever we are, right? So that is one way of doing it, which is a systematic way of doing it, like the school did it, where there were subjects and there were classes and there were teachers and there were exams. Fair enough. It's a nice system. We have nothing against that system. Okay. But there's another thing is that, but I don't want to learn physics. Then why am I being pushed to learn physics? I don't want to. I want to do something else. I want to play football every day. I want to go trekking for 1 month. Can I just go? Can I not have exams? I don't want, I don't like giving exams. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, this system somehow tends to say that, oh no, only if you do this, you are good enough. Okay. If you've got 60%, you are not good enough, Neha. You are terrible. Only if you get 93% Neha is good. You know what I mean? But is the child who is getting 60%, is he not good enough? That's not true. Right? So I'm saying, I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with anybody wanting to learn physics by a teacher in a proper subject way. Absolutely. Whoever wants to learn that way can learn that in a school and can learn that without going to a school also. If you still want to learn it as a subject. But if you want to learn physics hands-on, if you want to learn it the way you would like to learn it with some context, then you can learn it that way. When my son has never been to school at all. He's 19 years now. He's never seen a school, no college, no degree, no exam, nothing. So we went for deep sea diving, scuba diving, to learn a course, to get PADI certified. So in that, there was so much physics and advanced physics, right? Because he had to understand all of that, currents, atmospheric pressure. These are the terms he had never heard of, right? And there were 3 days orientation. Okay, there are some 60 odd videos. So he went through those 60 odd videos, this 3 days orientation. And the fourth day, there was an exam. Okay, of all the concepts which involved a whole lot of physics. Okay. And he could manage 46 out of 50. Not because he's brilliant in physics. He's never learned physics before, although he had played with boats and stuff like that. But because at that time he was totally into it. He wanted to do the scuba diving. He wanted to understand every little nuance of this, how this works, what this does, why we need to do this, why we need to do that. You know what I mean? At that age of 12, he wanted to understand everything so that when he goes inside the sea, he's fully equipped to do that. So the same learning can happen when you put it in a context when he needed to understand atmospheric pressure and when he needed to understand density and currents and so on and so forth. So we are not trying to say there's anything wrong or right with that way of learning, but if you want to learn the way the child wants to learn it, when he or she wants to learn it, that's where the open learning comes. So it's
No,
child-led.
actually,
It's child-led. That's the only
led
difference.
learning.
Yeah, it's child-led. In other cases, it is, and the child is deciding what's the curriculum, what's important for me. If for one child, he has got nothing to do with physics, he's only into, let's say, music, or he's only into crochet, or he's only into stocks and trading, then why would he like to know physics? If I'm into stocks, I don't need anything to do with trading. I would love to do stocks. We have a child, when he was 13, he got into stocks and trading. And by 15, he was like an expert. I used to tell him, you do master classes on, but now he's 18 and he has left stocks. He has moved ahead and into some other field. So I'm saying that is such beauty in life that we don't need to get stuck to one thing. When he wanted to learn stock and financial markets, from 13 age to 15 age, he ripped it apart. Whole day he will be only talking finance. But now he's done with it, he has moved ahead in life. Into something else. So that's the beauty of open learning, where you don't have to get stuck with something, or when you feel like getting stuck with something, you have no distractions. You can only do what you feel like doing. In fact, I had written a post little time back. I don't think it's fair to compare open learning and schooling system, because in schooling system there is a end result in mind, right? Like you said, career, good job, whatever. In open learning, we are least bothered about careers and jobs. We are more bothered about doing what we like doing. And at some point of time, the kids will like doing to earn money, then they will figure that part out. Like how my son is now 19 and he wants to earn a lot of money. And he's figuring us out way. Right? This is another scuba dive for him. But this is a different kind.
But life is not very easy, Ratnesh. It is challenging.
Either ways, I agree with you. It is challenging, whether you are an open learner, whether you are a school goer, whether you are a college goer. It is always challenging. There is no easy life, isn't it? When you were not a parent, life was not easy. When you became a parent, now that life is not easy. Now
Please
you have
don't ask.
parenting challenges, right? So there's never going to be an end to it. When your children
So
become when your
seeing
children
Naman
become
and being with
teenagers, you will have
him,
teenager challenges. When they become
other
even older,
challenges.
so that's all right. Yeah, sorry, you were
No,
saying.
there are few children who are a little bit different. Seeing Naman and observing him, my elder son, I mean, he thinks out of box only every time. He have few questions which we bouncer जाता है वो भी क्या आंसर देने का इसको. तो लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल स्कूल उसने ऐसे शुरू किया मेरा मन नहीं लगता तो मैं क्यों जाऊं.
Yeah, yeah.
So we were like कि इसको कैसे convince करें? Then we have always done a gentle parenting with our children. So we try to convince him only, and we are still trying that thing only. Even school supported us to sit me with him in his class. कि आप बैठ जाओ इसके साथ क्लास में. He is in first standard. So what I realized sitting there, what was my observation that in the 6 hours of span in school, 6-7 hours he spent in school, there is only one or 2 hours that they study that subject. Otherwise, they just roam around, they talk with their friends or मतलब कुछ भी करते हैं. टीचर आती है जाती है, then मौसी come in the class and they actually and Naman is just sitting idle. He's just observing. He's just seeing here and there. Some children coming to him and talking with him. Sometimes he is going. He's not doing मस्ती. तो मुझे ये समझ में आया कि वो शायद इस environment को में वो अपनापन नहीं feel कर रहा है.
No,
And at
possible,
home, when you
possible.
see the same Naman, he's engaged in different activities. Our home environment is like that.
Right.
Like science kit लेके आया ना experiment का उसके पापा ने, तो for whole day he can do science experiments.
There you go.
मम्मा
Why do
देखो
you
ये
need
किया
mother?
मैंने पापा.
Where do they need parents? Once they get something of their interest, they will be totally submerged in that.
Yes. And
Yes.
when some Lego comes, then he make different models and he show देखो ये बनाया बना. मतलब he is so happy, he is so involved, he don't need anyone. But there are sometimes at home also when he don't have anything to do. कुछ नहीं कर रहा है, बस बैठा है. कुछ एक कार ले लिया है तो उसी को लेकर घुमा रहा है. फिर मम्मा मैं क्या करूं? मम्मा आप मेरे साथ खेलो. पापा आप मेरे साथ खेलो. That time we have work, so we have many questions around this, Ratnesh. So we will
Sure,
be
sure.
joining that 4 day session in October and my husband will also join.
Yeah. So I want to
So
say
yeah,
something about those sessions. I would say more important than those sessions or any sessions for that matter is when you spend time with more people who are doing open learning, you learn more. And that is why the sessions are not separate. They are bundled with you being part of the community for 1 month. So I would say don't give importance to those sessions. Rather interact with other children who are there, other parents who are there. That will give you a better perspective into understanding open learning rather than those sessions. We will do the sessions also. Just give them very less importance. Give more importance. Where you are understanding from other. Like Krista is asking, what would a 6-year-old's day look like? Right? I don't know who would like to answer that question here. Who has had a 6-year-old as an open learner or unlearner? Then you can unschooler or whatever. Then you can give an answer better to that. Um, the point is, Krista, that first of all, a 6 years old day will look very different, possibly every day or every week or month. It won't look the same on a daily basis. That's the first point. The second point is that between 2 6 years old, the day would look very, very different. One 6-year-old might be totally hooked on to one thing. One 6-year-old would be doing some 60 things. One 6-year-old would like more people around. One 6-year-old may not want people around. So it's very, very individual based. But as a summary, what we typically work with is the child deciding what the child wants to do. And one part of that is we sitting with the child and saying, okay, this is what I want to do during the day. So I would start with sharing my planning for the day and inviting the child, what would you like to do during the day? and we can make a little sketch of that, or a map of that, or a list of that, whatever, or a drawing of what all we would like to do during the day. But please note, it's not that I am only saying that you tell me your plan. I am first sharing my plan. Yeah, this is what and we can find common things to do in between that. So that's how that's how a day would go. Now, if a child has put down that I want to do these 10 things, there is really no need to follow up that whether the child did those 10 things or not. It's not like, hey, you said at 11 o'clock you would like to, make something. Now, why are you not doing it? No, then we're becoming police inspectors or whatever. Right? The idea is slowly, the child uh, will realize, because at the end of the day we'll look back at our day and say, okay, I planned these things, what happened to my day? So I will reflect on my day, and my child will reflect on her day, and so on. And that is when we start understanding ourselves and start taking responsibility of ourselves. It's a gradual process. There's no hurry. There's a whole lifetime to understand responsibility of oneself. uh, but children are much smarter. They learn much faster. They very soon realize, this is how I'm supposed, because it is their day. Nobody else is making any decisions for them. So they can't really blame anybody and say, oh, I did not like my day because you said me to do this. But then we never told them to do anything. So it's like that. So it works slowly. But this whole idea of planning, uh, let's say at the beginning of the day or previous night, and then reviewing it at the end of the day, that makes a lot of sense, not just for the child. More and more important, it works for me. I think I become a better plant person than forget the child becoming a better plant person. But also the child realizes that everybody is living and trying to be responsible for oneself for that day, for example. And that's how things are in life, because you have to take responsibility for yourself. That's something children pick up very, very fast. And once they start understanding that, slowly they will start doing more different things, more things. And yeah, meaning accountability comes very, very naturally for them, because they're doing things that they like doing. I think the key is still that. That is what, when you are talking, Neha, about your son, why he enjoys at home is because he's doing the things he likes doing. And that's and when he wants to do what he wants to do, you know, that's very important. Because if I'm in a mood to right now go out and play, I want to go out and play. There's no point of making me sit and write or something like that, then it becomes very complicated. So yeah, that's in a brief way I can answer your question. Though as I said, it's much more to experience. Yeah, so you're talking about more structured activities. Yes, exactly. But the idea is, Krista, to get invite your daughter to create her own structure. And that's when the real fun starts. When she starts doing it, yeah, for herself. In fact, last time I shared a video of a young guy. He was at that time, I think, 4 years old, where he's planning his day and he's saying he will do this, he will do that. So at any age, they can really they can plan their day and decide, and it's much more fun that way. Well, I don't know whether we limit screen time or not. Again, that's Krista, that's a very common question, but a question which I normally avoid, because to me, screen is just another tool. And anyway, without trying to answer that question, do you limit screen time? The answer is actually no. We don't. We don't limit anything. What we do is, as I said, we co-create our days, co-create our lives. Co-create in the sense we sit together and talk and create something. And then not necessarily it is a masterpiece, because it can go all haywire. And then again next day we co-create. And then again next day we co-create. And that goes on and on and on. Yeah. And that's why the things like screen time and all is just another thing to discuss. Like Mario was talking about conflicts. Now, will I control screen time? I said, no, I'll discuss, just like conflicts, just like anything else. and we'll talk about it. We'll say, hey, what all we want to do? How do we want to do? Do we want to use screen, not use screen, and so on. Yeah. So it's another beautiful thing to explore, just like anything else for that matter. Okay, so yeah,
Hi, Ratnesh.
sorry,
I have
sorry.
a yeah.
Yeah, hi.
I am
Unfortunately,
Navya.
yeah, hi, Navya. So we will have to pause here, Navya. We do this 5 to 6. We commit this 1 hour every Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, we will be back again next Saturday and again next Saturday. We are here every single Saturday from 5 to 6 to answer your questions, to discuss with you. And if you're joining the community, then you get to meet a lot of more people and a lot more interactions if you're joining Aarohi. But if you are not wanting to join Aarohi, that's fine. If you still want to just know a little more, please come every Saturday and ask, or you can ask in the WhatsApp group. We'll try to answer to whatever extent we can. But we do limit it to 5 to 6. Also, there are loads and loads of recordings, almost around 200 odd recordings of these meetups. You can also listen into them because chances are your question has been asked again. For example, the screen time question must have been asked some 2000 times. That's just a random number. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
No,
yeah.
I'm just asking like I would like to join the ROEX for the October month. So my
Mhm.
son is only 4.6 years old. So is it like right time to join or that's the
Yeah.
only question. Yeah.
Yes.
So if I join, I have to attend the calls and everything, right?
Right. So again, being part of the community is not for your child. Don't join the community for the child. Don't join Aarohi for your child. Join Aarohi for yourself.
Okay.
The child also is part of Aarohi when you join in. And then if the child wants to participate, the child would participate. The child wants to reject it, that's all right. If the child wants to
Okay.
do a little bit, that's all right. Especially a 4.6, I don't I assume would not be too excited to look at a screen and join something. So that's okay. Join it for yourself. Whether your child is 6 or 16 doesn't matter. Join Aarohi for yourself first, and then see how it helps you and your child directly, indirectly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right. So, Neha, all the information is on the website, the dates, the calendar, everything. I can share the links here, but they are all on the website, everything. And if you are not able to find it, you can also ping me on WhatsApp. This is the WhatsApp number on which you can ping. All right, but everything is there on the website. I'll also give you the. Just go to the Mario is okay. That's for joining for a yeah. Thanks, Mario. Right. So the calendar is there where you can see the dates when you can come and visit and stay with us. Yeah, so these are the two options. You can be online part of the community for a month, the link Mario has shared, and you can be also come and stay with us for a week. I'll just give you a link. Just give me a minute. I'm just opening the website. Right. So you can come and stay with us. There are a number of options for that. So yeah, let me give you that link also. Yeah, I've given you the basic link of all the upcoming events in the calendar. That will give you a good idea of when all you can come and stay with us as in the campus and experience for yourself. I think that's the best way. Either you experience it online or you experience it that's one way. And you can always come to these Saturday meetups. So thank you. We as I said, we meet 5 to 6. We like to keep it for 1 hour, and then again next Saturday we are there. One or the other family or parent from the Aarohi families would be here as a host, even if I'm not there. If sometimes, most of the times I am there, but not every time. And yeah, and stay connected. Keep asking, both in WhatsApp group and here. And yeah, if you want to join, feel free to join. You can start with small duration and then you can see if this is something that you like, then you can continue. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye for today.
Thank you, Ratnesh.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good to see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.